The Dallas Cowboys are in the NFC East division. There you go. So we use all those tools. So this was a course right now. I didn't just give you guys a little thing to click on and then help, you can just, okay, I need a quick little 1 minute explanation of VLOOKUP. I gave you guys game. I gave you guys strategy. I'm a professional with this. I'm giving you guys a professional skill. Trust me. I'm giving you guys a professional skill right now. If you watch these videos and you adopt the strategy I'm giving you, you can take this skill anywhere and make money and support yourself. All right, so here we go. We're going to start this just from scratch, no preparation. Just from scratch, no preparation, so you can see every step we're taking. We're going to start with the data right here. This here is all the rushing statistics from 2018 season. This is a map or an image of the conferences, American football, AFC, NFC, and the divisions within each conference. Each one of these little icons here represents an NFL team. So what we're going to do is we're going to categorize these teams, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals, all of these teams into this map here, so that we can go through and sum up, add up all of the rushing yards in each of these conferences or divisions to see which division had the most rushing yards. So here we go, and I'm gonna show you a lot of other techniques along the way that I find very helpful. So we're just gonna jump into it. So here we go. So this is the original data. We're gonna call this rushing data. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is we're going to have the teams by conference and division. All right. Then we're going to have DV, which stands for data validation lists. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to do this in some different ways just so you can see. Okay. Command C. So I'm going to take, right now I'm taking this team column, paste, and so this is going to be every team through the whole data set. By the way, this data set, so here we go, command. So there are 343 items in this data set. These are the teams from each, okay? And just to prove to you here, escape, boom, 341 lines in the data set, okay? So now these are all the teams from all the data set, from the entire data set. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the duplicates. Data. Remove the duplicates. So we see, now these are all the unique items. Okay? There are only 32 teams. So I see that there's an extra team here missing. Okay? There it goes. 2 teams. This represents a player. Player had 2 teams. So we have to be aware of that, okay? So we don't mess that up later on down the line. Okay, so that was just a quick thing I just wanted to bring up. Because if we tried to do this the other way, if we tried to do this without paying attention to that, we would have lost. We would have lost the player. Just trust me. Trust me. Anyway, so now, these are all the teams, okay? Dallas Cowboys, Giants, Washington Redskins, Chicago Bears. Now, we're going to put them into conference, okay? And then division. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the conference as a DV list, okay? And I'm also going to put the divisions as DV list. And I'll show you what that means in a second. Okay. So here, we're going to make this a DV list, data validation list. Okay. What this is going to do is it's going to help us to plug things in quickly and also plug things in without mistakes. This is super important. Okay. So DV list, and the source for the conference here is going to be these 2 cells. Boom. Oh, boom. Okay? Evaluation. Yes, what does this mean? Boom. Does it work? Messed it up somehow. We'll do it again. Validation, data validation. List. Oh yeah, I messed this up. Boom. DV list. Trying to go quickly so we don't waste your time, but there we go. Okay. So now you can see we have the NFC or the AFC. And you know what? I'm gonna put them in alphabetical order so it doesn't look so awkward. Boom. Data, sort, ascending. Continue the current selection. Boom. Okay, same thing here. Sort, ascending. Okay, so now these are neater and they're in alphabetical order. Back to what we're doing. This, AFC, NFC. Now, what this is going to do is when we plug this in, so Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys here, they're in the NFC East. So we're going to put NFC right there. So that's what this, that's what the data validation does, is it lets you drop down menu. Okay? Then, and then also for now, we're going to drag this format down. So here, drag this format all the way down. Okay? Which reminds me, because we had this two-team problem, we are going to have to add another to each of these, okay? I'm going to call that miscellaneous. Because that team is not going to be in any conference or division. So back, data validation, validate, data validation, boom. So now we have all three options, okay? So we're just going to pull that formatting right down all the way to the bottom. There you go. So now all these cells have that drop-down menu, and it's going to become helpful when we go and fill in. Next up, division, okay? Again, we're going to put the list here too. Right now you see how there's no list. Here we got list options. Here there are no lists. We got to plug that in there. Validate. Data validation. List. This is a huge thing. I'm telling you guys. Use data validation lists. It'll save your time because you won't be making typo errors and having a hard time when you try to look up items. So here we go. Now we're gonna just do the quick thing and plug it in. We're all set to go. This drops down to all the options. So Dallas Cowboys, NFC East. New York Giants, NFC East. Arizona Cardinals, NFC West. And I'll probably fast forward through this part when I make the final video. Green Bay, NFC North, and Philadelphia, NFC East. NFC East. Okay, now, before I forget, I'm also going to save. So file, save as. Put this into promotion stats video. Okay, that's what we're doing. Now we're here. Now we're back in the game. Here we go. So now I'm going to sort these. First of all, I don't like to look at things when they're not in good text order. So we'll make it all consistent size text and consistent whatever. I don't know why it's not whatever. Back to what we're doing. So I want to sort these by conference. Custom sort. Sort them by conference first. And then I'm going to sort by division to make sure it all looks good. Yep. So we got 4 teams from the AFC East, 4 teams from the AFC North, 4 teams from the AFC South, 4 teams from the AFC West, 4 teams from the NFC East, NFC North, NFC South. Good. All looks good. Good. Now to the fun part. Here we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use VLOOKUP to categorize each of these teams into conference and division. Insert. Here we go. Division. This is weird. conference. I don't know why this looks so strange, but I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that formatting is like that. Hopefully, this is regular Excel. I just downloaded this data set off the internet, so it very well could be a problem. But let's see how it goes. This is my first time making this kind of video, so we're just gonna run it and see how it turns out. So Dallas equals. Now here's the key to the video. VLOOKUP. This is the function. Okay. Now it's going to want, first thing it wants is a lookup value. That's the key that you're going to look up in the table, okay? For this one, it's the team. We're looking up where does this team fall in this table. Boom. So it's C3, okay? That's the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we're going to go into the table array. The next thing it wants is a table array. This is where you have the code for where the team key is going to, what conference, where is the table where we find the conference that is associated with that team key? So it's the table we just made. It's this table here, okay? So we're going to select the entire table, and also we're going to put the dollar signs, and the dollar signs make it so that this table won't move. Because as you move a formula down Excel, Excel will move the formula with the data. Just trust me. What I'm saying here is you want this table to stay the same table the whole time. So we're going to make sure it's the same rows and column to start the table, the same column and row to start the table, and the same column and row to end the table. So next, we're going to go to column index number says which column here do we want to plug into that cell back on the original page. And we want to use the second because that's the one with the conferences in it. So we're going to put 2 there. Okay? And then finally, the last thing it wants, this range lookup here, just put false. What that means is it's looking for an exact match. Okay? We're not using any kind of like, oh, it's close, so we're going to go with it. No, no, no. We want the exact match. We want it to find Dallas Cowboys and then only use it if it matches, only use the NFC if it matches Dallas Cowboys exactly. Trust me. Okay? Next. So you see how I just plugged in Dallas Cowboys are in NFC, are in the NFC conference. The Giants are in the NFC. All these teams are in the NFC so far. Okay? And we're just going to drag it all the way down. Oh, easier way to do this. There's an easier way to do this. Let me do this. So you want to drag a formula the whole way down. Press Command C to pick. Okay? Then go over to where the data are continuous all the way to the bottom. Press Command and it'll find the bottom. Okay? Now, press Command Shift up and that'll highlight the entire cell that you want. And then finally, Command V and it plugs it all in. So we go back up, Command, Escape. Now we're back. All these teams are plugged in. New England we know is in the AFC. LA, and just always check your work too, so we know this two-team person, he is in the miscellaneous. His stats don't go in any category. But NFC, AFC. So good. Now we have the conferences plugged in. Next, we're going to plug in the division. Okay. We're going to use column 3 now because the divisions are in the third column. 1, 2, 3. It looks funky. This looks funky for whatever reason. This is again, I downloaded this data set. You can see how these look more normal. This page looks more normal. This page looks more normal. Tab or sheet, whatever. And this kind of is like spaced out strangely, but the data are in the right place. NFC West for the Rams, NFC East for the there we go. Yeah, now it looks a little better. AFC East for the Patriots. Kansas City, AFC West. Cool, we're good. So now, and I'm going to highlight these because just so we can know that this is what we just put in. So we just put in this for each team. Okay. Finally, now we have the teams categorized into their conference and division. So now we're gonna add another tab. And we're gonna say conference and division sums. Here we go. So I'm gonna take the conference and division again. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to remove duplicates. So we only have one row for each division. Okay. Data. Remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. Boom. So now we have the 4 AFC divisions, the 4 NFC divisions, and then that one miscellaneous column. Now we're just going to go division rushing sum. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. We're going to use a formula called SUMIFS with an S because we have to make sure that it meets the criterion that it meets that the rushing yards that we're going to add into this sum came from the AFC, but not just the AFC but the AFC East. We have to meet 2 criteria here. Okay? So, here we go. So first we're going to ask for the sum range. The formula always has sum range. The formula always has these arguments that tell you what what inputs it wants. This is the formula, SUMIFS, and the first argument it wants is the sum range. This is a column of data that you want to actually sum from. You go rushing data, and we want to sum rushing yards. Okay, so I'm just going to select the entire. Ooh. Here we go. That was weird. Sum. Okay, we're going to select column K with the yards in it. This is weird. I don't know why it's doing. I want to select column K. So we'll just do this manually. Okay. Next, the criteria range. The first one is going to be a conference range. Okay. And again, it's doing something weird. So I'm just going to go D, column D. And now here's a technique I use for when I want to have the key. So you see, first it wants range, which is the rushing data. Let me slow down and do it in order. First it wants the sum range. What are we adding up? We're adding up column K, which is the rushing yards. Then it asks for the first range that we're checking in. Okay? And we're looking for the conference. So we selected column D because that's where the conferences live. Now, the next thing it wants is criteria 1. Okay? And this is going to be a cell, not a range, not a column. And so for now, I'm gonna use shorthand and just put conference in quotation marks, just so I know for later to plug that in with the appropriate conference. And then we're gonna select division, which is gonna be E, column E. And then we're gonna put division in quotes so we remember later on in the next step to plug that in with the right division. And then also, because I know that I'm never going to leave the rushing sum range, or the rushing yard sum range, I'm going to put dollar signs to make sure that this K never leaves. Same thing with the D, which is the conferences that we want. Put dollar signs to make sure the conference never moves. And finally, division, make sure division never moves. Okay, so now that's our formula. It's going to be 0 because none of these things match. None of the conferences match conf because the conferences only have AFC, NFC, and MIS. And also, none of the divisions match division because they have values of East, North, South, West, and then MIS. But here's where it's going to get beautiful. Finally, we go here. And in this case, we're looking for the AFC there. And in this case, we're looking for the Division East. Boom. Now we got some sums. Now we plug it all the way down. So there you go. So first thing we're going to do, now we're going to check. So there we go. So by the way, okay. So now we're going to go through and check. Now, okay, so we're going to go through and we're going to check to make sure everything worked out well. This looks right. This looks about right. Okay, but we're going to make sure. What this is saying pretty much is that the AFC East, all the running back or all the rushers from teams in the AFC East, if you add up all their rushing yards, you get 7,245 total rushing yards. Okay. Now we're gonna go through and we're gonna check to make sure that's right. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go data. We're gonna do something called filter. Okay. Filter, and now we have all these drop-down menus for how we can filter. I want to filter by AFC, and then I want to filter, and so we're going to use that one. Okay. Then next, we're going to filter by East. Boom. So now we only have AFC East running backs here, or AFC East stats here. And we go, and we look at all the yards of everybody in the AFC East. And it adds up right there. You can see it down there at the bottom. Okay, I'm pointing down to the bottom. Sum 7,245. Okay, 7,245 for all the rushers in the AFC East. Okay, now I'm going to unfilter because I don't like to leave things filtered because you can mess up the data because right now they're all out of order or they're in order. Trust me, just trust me. Once you're done filtering, unfilter. Okay, don't leave things filtered when you're not using them because it can mess up your data because you can hit the wrong button and now things are out of whack. But remember, we just saw that number, 7,245 for the AFC East. And there it is, 7,245 for the AFC East. So finally, what we're going to do is, and also I just did this quickly, this 58,601 yards, just to make sure that they all add up. And they do. 58,601. Okay, cool. 58,601. So everything works out. Again, I'm going to unhighlight because I don't want to mess things up. And also, I like to leave it up here. Right there. Good. Back to what we're doing. Conference and sums. Cool. So now we have we're confident that we have the right stats for each of these divisions. And then the last step that we're going to do to find out who had the most rushing yards is we're going to select the whole thing. And we're going to sort, custom sort by division rushing sum. Okay. We're going to do it back. We're going to do it the other way so we can see who's at the top, largest to smallest. Boom. There we go. The NFC West had the most rushing yards, followed by the AFC South, followed by the AFC West. So let's see who had the who those teams are. So he said NFC West had the most. NFC West. Okay, so that's Arizona. So these are the teams in the AFC West. Looks like Arizona would be David Johnson. LA Rams would be Gurley. Seattle. Now again, that's not the. We'll see who's in Seattle getting all these, helping them with the rushing yards. So we'll go here. We'll go filter. We'll go team. We're gonna find Seattle. Oh, they had a 1,000-yard rusher. Chris Carson did 1,000 yards for them. So he added his contribution to the NFC West sum. So cool. There you go. That's the bottom line. So now you can see. So I gave you a lot of game in there, man. So now we're going back to this thing. So we have what we have. This is a long video, but I wanted to take the time from start to finish. I could have gone through and had all the things listed out, like all the the teams with their conference and their division. I could have had that listed out beforehand to make the video quicker, but I wanted to show you the whole process because like the data validation list, for example, that part of the process is going to help you a lot when you're using Excel for whatever you're doing, for your own personal life, for business applications, whatever you're doing. You're going to want to learn how to do things like data validation lists. So that's why I wanted to include all those steps, as well as the removing duplicates, so you can see how to find the unique values in a given column. Yes, this was a long video, but you see how you can use all these tools to help you achieve your goal. Okay, in this case, the goal was to see how many rushing yards were in each of the conferences. If you add up all the rushing yards in each conference, how many yards did each conference have, and which conference had the most? That was the question we aimed to answer with this Excel process. And then along the way, we used a lot of other tools like data validation lists, like removing duplicates, like VLOOKUP. Obviously, VLOOKUP was the big lesson that I wanted to give you guys today. What VLOOKUP does is it helps you to use a key, like use a table, and then put different values or different rows of data into categories based on a certain key. So in this case, the key was the team. So we know that the Dallas Cowboys, where are we trying to put that in terms of conference and in terms of division? And so we made the table. We used the data validation lists to make the table right here. And so now we know that the Dallas Cowboys are in the NFC conference East division. NFC East division. The Dallas Cowboys are in the NFC East division. There you go. So we use all those tools. So this was a course right now. I didn't just give you guys a little thing to click on and then help, you can just, okay, I need a quick little 1 minute explanation of VLOOKUP. I gave you guys game. I gave you guys strategy. I'm a professional with this. I'm giving you guys a professional skill. Trust me. I'm giving you guys a professional skill right now. If you watch these videos and you adopt the strategy I'm giving you, you can take this skill anywhere and make money